Hey guys, Rich Nance with WARTAC CQC. Today we're going to look at a hold-up scenario where the assailant is armed with a handgun. Make no mistake, this is an entire field of study, gun disarming. It's not something that I can express to you in 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes on a YouTube video. So you owe it to yourself to understand the nuances of this stuff. I'm going to focus here on the specific technique that I recommend and that I teach for dealing with a handgun disarm. The reason I teach this specific technique is because it works in a myriad of different scenarios. I don't want to have a different technique if the gun is pointed at my head than if it's pointed at my chest. I want to be able to do the same thing. I don't want to have to make a bunch of decisions when I'm staring down the barrel of a gun. With slight modification, the same technique I'm going to show you will work if the assailant approaches from the side or from the rear. I'm going to have my training partner Jason come in and I'll show you how this looks. Okay, the first one we'll look at is against a firearm that's pointed at my chest. I'll do full speed and then I'll break it down for you. Please don't shoot me, don't shoot me. That happens pretty quickly there. I offered a verbal distraction, and when I saw that he was vulnerable, I made my move. Here I'm gonna strike him with my elbow, strike him with the muzzle depending on the distance, rotate my body, palm strike his face, tap the magazine, rack the slide, and assess the situation. Obviously, if you're armed, going to your own gun is preferred at that point. Let's break this technique down for you. So the first thing I did, which is critical, is I got my body out of line of fire and also redirected the gun and established control of the direction of the muzzle. Now, if his finger's on the trigger, there's a round in the chamber, it's a functioning gun, 1 round may discharge. But when it discharges, I'm not in front of the muzzle. After I've established a firm grip on the slide, the pistol may be able to fire 1 more time, but then it will be malfunctioned and incapable of firing. The same principle holds true if he's armed with a revolver. So, same technique, I grab now the cylinder and prevent it from turning. Then I can pull the gun into my chest. Some martial artists make the mistake of trying to take the gun this way. It may work, but it's kind of dependent on size and strength. What I'm doing is pulling this gun into my chest. And notice the muzzle is nowhere near me. It's not pointed at my chest. From here, I'm turning with my whole body and stripping the gun free this way. And you've seen how the rest of the technique works. Now, if you make a mistake and go the wrong direction, or perhaps there's a wall here and this is the only direction you can go, the same technique works. Put your finger on the trigger, Jason. Here is where his finger will probably get taken off and the gun may discharge, but it's going to be facing him when it does. Now, what I like about this technique, as I mentioned, is how versatile it is. Against a firearm pointed to your head, one popular technique, which is quite effective, is to lower your body and raise the gun up like this. That accomplishes the same principle that I demonstrated earlier, where I'm getting my body offline and redirecting the gun. The problem is, when you're working on this vertical plane, as opposed to the horizontal plane, like I demonstrated, you can run into problems when you try to apply this technique when the gun's pointed to your chest. Because as I drop my body weight and start to bring the gun up, there's a good chance it's going to discharge now. Okay? So the technique I demonstrated, again, works just the same if it's pointed to your head, if it's pointed at your chest. No matter which direction you go, the same principle applies. So if you're not practicing gun disarms, you definitely should be. For more information, check out our website, www.wartac.com.